Hi, namaste, and welcome to Breakout with me, Abha. Thank you so much for watching. You know we are committed to bring to you exceptional people, game changers, business mavericks, people who have been there and done that, and they're here to share their insights for us to break out of what we find limiting and break into something that we find absolutely necessary for us, because from them we learn there is one rule to life. There's only one rule to life, and that is that there are no rules to life. We just make them up all on the way. My guest today, my God, a multi-talented CEO and a business leader with a legacy of empowering thousands of people, women especially, through her varied business endeavors. From a corporate background in sales and marketing, she has gone on a trailblaze path for other women entrepreneurs to follow in. And as #1 international best-selling author, a 6-time international best-selling author and business coach, she's passionate about putting her success to use in passing on the wisdom she's gained from carving out a thriving businesses in number of industries. Please meet Kim Smith. Kim, thank you for being here. I need you to say your middle name so I don't get it wrong.
Oh, you're so cute. We can just use the initial B, but it's Boudreau, and thank you.
Boudreau. Okay,
Yeah.
Kim Boudreau Smith. So welcome, Kim Smith. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for inviting me here today. And to all your viewers and listeners, hello. I just came in from walking my baby Grace. My
I
baby
am
Grace is my black lab. So
all right. I'm really glad. I'm so delighted to have you here and to meet you in person, because I have seen
thank
your
you.
work. I have seen what you've done. You've been there doing this for other women for years, and you've helped millions of people across the world. I really, really want to understand from you where this all started. You were in the corporate environment, and you then moved to creating businesses for other people, coaching them, getting them started. You have a radio station out there for women to go out and give them a place to raise their voice, or to say what they have to
Yes.
say. Just
Yes.
give us
Yep.
an overview.
Well, the overview was I was the girl that graduated. Well, I took a long time to graduate from high school, but when I graduated high school, I said, "That's it. I can jump into the corporate world. I'm going to be the title white collar girl," because I came from an uneducated blue collar family that never missed a day of work. My parents don't miss a day of work. They don't push education, they push work.
Wow.
And so I stepped into corporate. I built a phenomenal corporate career. I learned very quickly I don't play corporate politics well. I'm too at that point in my life, way back then, it feels like it was before life, I didn't know how to be savvy enough to play with the corporate politics. And quite frankly, at this point in my life, I tell my husband this all the time. If I ever had to go back into corporate America, I would, but they would impeach me, fire me within 5 minutes, because I would walk into a meeting and go, "Oh, come on, this is crazy." So I played it. I built a career, but something was always missing. And that's when I started on a part-time basis my fitness business, which
Wow.
was all started by mistake. So that's where I started with my own business. And by the way, let's put time in here. Abba, is when I started my fitness business, there weren't websites. There wasn't I mean, we were just getting into that. So my fitness business is all right here in my backyard, which is still this much alive, all built on word of mouth and getting out there and networking. So that's how that all started. So this industry that you and I sit in, this online world,
Wow.
I have my days where I love it, and I have my days I just shake my head and go, whoa, so it's a whole different environment.
Right. I think today we have so many different, I mean, we can look at it as a resource, but I think sometimes it's overdone. And
Yes.
we don't know. I mean, sometimes I don't know what's the right thing to do. And so that's why I really enjoy talking to people like yourself who've been there at a time when things were not this way. and at a time
Yes.
when we can now see the same things and use our resources probably in a totally different manner altogether. So, what difference do you see from then and now?
Well, then and now, well, first of all, thank goodness for technology because look, you and
Right,
I mean, we're worlds apart.
right,
We're so we're time zone and worlds apart, which
right.
this is where I love technology. This relationship.
Yes.
This budding relationship and then how we can make this happen now. Whereas before everything was done, it was more done face to face. We literally got up and out of our home and went networking. I built a business on word of mouth referrals. I built a business on handshakes. Those handshakes now they keep us back through screen. And
Right.
here's the other thing that I see now with all this technology. And don't get me wrong, I love it. I don't utilize it all because I don't need to utilize it all. But I feel that the screen allows us as human beings to be less responsible in our businesses because we can hide behind a screen and something that's not what that screen there is for. And I think we as a society and we as human beings, we're yet again bastardizing something else.
That's true. So you then committed yourself to from the corporate, you moved to you realize your potential to help other people do things, and you were committed to make women top producers in the world.
Yes.
Where did that happen and how?
Oh my gosh, where did that happen and how? I do believe it. Well, I'm okay. So at 48 years, when I was 48 years old, I'm now 56. At 48, I fell asleep around the corner from my home in the middle of the day at a major intersection. I was in my car in a major intersection. I fell asleep at a red light.
Okay.
So thank goodness my foot did not come off the brake because I would have ended up in the middle of the intersection. That was my biggest aha moment going, I'm out here trying to help others. I'm not even helping myself. I mean, it's 12 noon in the middle of the day. There's no reason for me to be tired. I
Right.
knew something was wrong. So that's when I came home and started making phone calls and pulled my community, my tribe together. And I waved a white flag and said, I need help.
Right.
That was the first step of me turning in to become stronger, to become more confident, to become
Right.
more grounded, to
Right.
really get to intimately know myself. So in turn, I can be better for other women. Abha, one of the two things that I still shake my head about is women that get overwhelmed, lose hope and quit, and women that are still going after other women very nastily. You know what? With those two things going on, I'm going to I keep saying this and I say this lightly. I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. one morning and I'm going to get my cup of coffee and there's going to be dinosaurs walking across my front yard.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because that still keeps us back.
Right. Right. I think the first two I still feel people can work on, but the third one, that women getting after women very nastily, is um, that's the sad part. I
Yeah.
think if we really did understand that it boils down to people helping people, and we are in a different space. I mean, despite me, I think all of us not wanting it, and we understand this whole idea of equality,
Yes.
and it's all similar stuff, and we all can get out there and do stuff. But I think we still live in a space where if women supported women, things would be way nicer. But because of the first two,
Yeah.
they keep this relationship or this opportunity of building relationships at the lower end, which I find excruciatingly painful. But
Well,
coming back to you.
you know something, Abba, I listen, I am not successful unless you are successful.
Exactly.
I'm not successful my neighbor unless my neighbor I'm not.
Right.
And so when I hear these women, look, everyone's white picket fence is a different color, and really, quite frankly, there isn't such a thing as a white picket fence. I mean, around so metaphorically speaking,
Right.
we all go through the ups and downs and the trials and tribulations of owning a business. I mean, some days it's easy, and some days I wake up and my confidence is down a little bit. So
Right.
it's life is not perfect. We're here for a journey, and that's what I do. That's the work I do with women is look, what do you want for success? It's based upon our own individual terms. Everybody has a different definition for success.
Right.
And how do you want that to look and feel? How do you want that to look and feel?
So you've been coaching women on creating businesses, on sort of getting out there and building it up, and you're giving them not just coaching, but you're helping them get the resources of a hub.
Yes.
Tell us about the business strategies and coaching part of your business.
Well, so here's where I always begin is we've got to get clear because with all the minutia coming at us, I mean, turn on the news, get on Facebook, get on
Ah,
LinkedIn. We got so much Twitter. We've got so much coming at us, and not to mention just the interaction with our kids or our significant others or best friends or whatever. Just get crystal clear. And I don't mean that WHY anymore because that know your why is really starting to get a little redundant. But get crystal clear on what the purpose of all this is. What makes you jump out of bed in the
right,
morning? And how do you want to feel so that you can implement that to make others feel that way? So that's where we always begin is what's here? What is this all about? What
right.
is this all about? And then we start setting systems and processes set up into place. Because if we don't have systems and processes set up into place, this is going to become a wet blanket. It's going to overwhelm us. We're going to be looking at our kids and go, I don't have time. I'm running a business. And if we are not organized and have systems and don't have systems set up in place, I run 3 businesses.
Mhm.
Trust me. And I'm not in here 24/7, even though it's right down the hall here in my home. I'm not. And nor do I want to be. I love my businesses. I don't want to be here all the time. So it's getting those systems and getting the women organized so the businesses are not controlling them. They are in turn managing the business.
Right, right. So that brings me to the next question. There is a speech that you have. It's called work-life balance. It's a myth.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
just shatter the myth for us.
Okay, there isn't such a thing as work-life balance.
Exactly. Yeah.
First of all, work and life is not separate. It's all one thing. And there isn't such a thing as balance.
Right.
And I've worked with women that they feel once they achieve that balance, they
Ah,
get to go sit down and have a glass of lemonade with vodka in it. I don't know, and they relax. There isn't such a thing. It's ever going. It's negotiating your
right,
schedule.
right,
It's learning how to say yes and no and negotiating and delegating. There's so much to the scheduling. And until women step up and say no without a whole dissertation of
right,
saying no, without that estrogen guilt taking us over, you're still going to have that schedule controlling you as
right.
opposed to us managing it.
Right, right. In my book that I've written, there's a big chapter on how important it is to say no. It
Yeah.
is important to say no, but it is also important to say it how, so that you don't go through those trips of guilt and nervousness and nicety and all those nice things. So yes, I mean there is nothing called balance. We have to learn how to negotiate our time and also integrate what is necessary at that point of time in terms of
Yes.
prioritizing. So work your network. You are a person who started a radio station. You have so many women coming. I've interviewed on your radio station, so I know what's happening over there. It's called the Bold Radio Station. I love the name. Your books are by
Thank
that
you.
name.
Thank
Everything is by that name. We're going to come to your books later, but you are a person of creating communities and network and working that in such a beautiful way.
Thank you.
I mean, this is now we hear of networking as like a theory, and people are learning how to network. You've done it before it all started.
Something I come from personal. I don't ever. We're alone in our homes. We're alone in our home offices. There's nothing like feeling alone because
Ah,
that does lead us to that hopelessness, and then we pull the covers up over our eyeballs, and then we quit. Now, yes, I live in Michigan. We have cold, gloomy days. It's okay to have the covers up to your chins once in
right.
a while. With to lighten that up a little bit. But we we can do this all by ourselves. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why? First of all, I think when I hear this is my personal opinion. I feel that when I hear women say, "Oh, I got this. I can handle this all by myself." You've got that ego going on. You've got the hag in the attic coming at you, and that is so false evidence appearing real.
Right.
We can be CEOs of businesses and run businesses and multiple businesses and be a mom and be a wife and whatever multiple hats we want to wear. But we should have like-minded surrounded by us. You need that community. You need that sisterhood. You need that tribe. You need like-mindeds to bounce things off of one another
Right.
to, I'm having a down day. I need to talk with somebody. I'm having a great day. I want to celebrate. And to be around other people that are going through the same thing. And you need people that are few steps ahead of you that have been doing this a little bit longer. You
Right.
need people that are right there with you. And you also need to be surrounded with people that are just getting started.
Mm-hmm.
That's my community. That's my
Right.
community.
It's important because I think women sort of are reluctant to go out because we are multitaskers and we believe we can do a lot more than we really then is really necessary. And we
Yeah,
can seek help, we can delegate, we can ask for things, but yeah, they don't do it. So I
right.
think they should look at you and listen to what you're saying. So how important is speaking the truth? And there is this big women are known for gossip, bitchiness, and you name it. You have a speech topic on your site which says "Speak your truth, no bitchiness here."
Yeah, just speak your truth. One of my favorite quotes is taste your words before you spit them out.
Right.
And in fact, I'm attending an event here very shortly, and I'm speaking on the power of voice.
Hmm.
And the power of voice, it's the first thing we do when we come through the birth canal.
Right.
Wow. And that gives the indication that that baby is okay, that baby is breathing, and that baby is alive. It's such an energetic, vibrational sound.
Right.
I love taste your words before you spit them out because the words come from within. It comes from that hag in that attic, that
Mm.
internal voice. And then if we go out there and spit them out, first of all, once those words are said, you can never, ever, ever take them back. Our voices are here to heal and or they can harm.
Hmm.
And it's enough of this harming. I mean, I get that we get angry and we have a rule in our home. We have a rule in our home. If it's getting too heated of a discussion, and especially if I'm getting heated, I look at my husband, I'm like, I'll be back. I just got to step out. I'll be back in 5 minutes. And I come and I leave. I take a couple deep breaths. I'm like, okay, now my emotions are settled down and I can have a logical conversation.
Hmm.
Not that I'm removing my heart from it, but
Right.
I can have a very non-emotional conversation. I see that with a lot of women
Hmm.
when business deals are going south, they want to start bringing in all their personal baggage, all the emotions, and nothing gets resolved. It becomes a lose-lose situation and not a win-together situation.
Does it also, I mean, obviously, it boils down to how we communicate in our businesses or maybe circumstance in the relationships or in our networks. A lot of times, especially, I mean, it's not nice to say this, but women do tend to uh, go overboard and
Yes,
especially
they do.
talking behind people's backs. What is your opinion on that? Because this is something that really, I think, brings them down when it comes to real business.
Well, when people are doing that, when and don't get me wrong, I'm no sweet, innocent person here. And I've caught myself doing that. And so when I start myself to want to, God forbid, do something like that, I back off and go, what is it here that's a lesson for you internally, Kim, that needs to be
Right.
learned? Because, when we're doing that, we're passing judgment. And I mean, the judgment can be as simple as, hello, today the sky is blue. That can be a judgment.
Mhm.
It's a form of a judgment. And quite frankly, we're not judging the other person. We're judging us. It
Ourselves.
starts with us. It's that internal voice that is going on. That's why I say taste your words
Right.
before you spit them. Taste the words before you are spitting them at yourself,
Right.
before you do it to somebody else, because it all starts from within.
Hmm. That's true. So there's this big thing about selling that women are scared of. And
Oh,
you say, how can we sell like a woman? What's the difference of a man or a
huge.
woman selling? Is selling different or is the man or woman different?
Well, first of all, men and women are different of the
Yeah.
genders. And, I hear a lot of women that I work with are like, I want to run my business like a man. Well, why? A man has a penis and a woman has a vagina. Sorry to be crude and rude, but, we're different.
Right.
Men think, men are more logical
Hmm.
than women, even though men are just as intuitive as women.
Hmm.
Why do we want to run businesses like a man? Why do we
Right.
want to sell like a man? Here's something. so many women, that SELL word, think it's such a nasty four-letter word. Sell is not a nasty four-letter
Yes.
word.
Yes.
Come out of selling, and how is it are you going to serve? And when you are serving, stay in I call it the double F's, firm and factual. When we start bringing those emotions into any negotiating a business, whether you're selling, serving, whether you've had a business conflict going on, we all have our challenges,
Right.
conflicts, whatever words you
Right.
want to put to that, is if you can take a deep breath, let an email settle for 24 or 48 hours, you choose,
Mm-hmm.
be in a heated a conversation, pause, power of the pause, walk out, come back 10 minutes later, okay, I digress. If you can discern and remove yourself from those emotions and just stay firm and be with the facts,
Facts. Right.
it becomes a win together situation.
Mm-hmm.
I, and I'll say this, I lose my patience when I'm dealing with a woman
Mm-hmm.
and they're telling me, well, I didn't, I did this for you. And, and I forego, I didn't get to go to my cooking class. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about your cooking class. I'm excited you do that. I don't care anymore. I want firm and I want facts. And
Right.
if we as women cannot learn, and it's a skill to be firm and factual in business, it becomes convoluted.
Mm-hmm.
There's too much heated emotions.
Mm-hmm.
We are full of emotions. So step away,
Right.
manage those emotions, and then come back into the situation. Quite frankly, we should be doing that in marriages or, relationships and everything.
I think it applies everywhere. It's
Hmm.
not just in business situations. I would really want to take away for everybody who's watching and listening, take those double F's with you because it's being firm and stay with the facts because that's where all answers or all questions lie.
Yes.
Leave the rest of the stuff behind. If it's getting too bad, back off for a while.
Yes.
And this is great advice. Yeah, this is great advice, Kim, because I have dealt with women, I have dealt with men who it's so heated that we lose the conversation, we lose the context of what's going on. And eventually, what then, you talk about power of pause, power of words, that words can harm and heal, and people screw it up on the spot. So I think it's nice to stay back off, but stay with the facts and stay
Yep.
firm with what's going on. Nice. Tell me, Kim, about a lot of women quit on the way.
Mm.
It's not we have this whole thing about uh, kids, families, not so easy, society, this is not right, that is not right. So it's not my kind of stuff going on. What, according to you, are the reasons that women quit, and why should they not?
I think there were wrong reasons of starting to begin with. I see a lot of people, they want to make six figures in 90 days. I think that is one of the biggest misleading myths.
Basically,
You want to
yeah,
talk about you want to talk about myths.
It's cheating.
Oh my goodness, yes. And and that can be a whole other show, that six figures in 90 days. First of all, that six figures we gain does not go into our pocket as business
No.
owners, and it doesn't happen in 90 days. Doesn't happen. It can take a couple of years. And I just feel a lot of women go into their businesses
Yeah.
um, for the baggage, for the self-serving, self-induced baggage of, I'm going to heal the world and I'm going to help everybody. Well, we're not. That's great. We want to heal the world, but we're not here. We can't help everybody. We are not a jackstress of all trades trying to mastering absolutely nothing.
Mhm.
So I think women launch businesses for all the wrong reasons. Number one, and number two, it really saddens my heart that, you know, a woman is here on January 1st, and by December 31st of that year, they're gone. It's a very convoluted message that you're putting out there. Look, if things aren't working, change them up.
Uh-huh.
Don't quit. And if you quit after 12 months or
Mm.
6 months, your skin's not in the game to
Yeah.
begin with, because owning a business,
Yeah.
it's hard work. I've heard women say, "I'm going to open up my own business so that I don't have to work as much." Well, ha ha ha. That's
Ah.
that's that's a myth too.
Yeah, I know. I just got a mail from somebody I had met, I think 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago. And he says to me, I'm so happy to see you in a decade of your work. You're doing well. So I reminded him, I said, no, it's 15. It's not 10. So I've been at it 15 years and I run 4 businesses. It's not it's not like it's the glamour of it is all something that's hogwash. It's real hard work. And
It
15 years
is.
down, 10 years down, I can look back and I said, thank you for reminding me. I've been there for a long time. So I forgot about it. I've been so busy, I forgot. So let's come to your book, Kim. Healing the Child Within. Life is about choices. Bold is beautiful. Kindness, Beauty, and Strength. Bold is Beautiful. Breakthrough to Business Strategies. These are the three books I found, and I had all bestsellers, right?
All the books that I've participated in are bestsellers. The two Bold is Beautiful books, I led those books. The first one, Bold is Beautiful, Kindness, Beauty, and Strength, which are my initials, is a #1 international. I've participated in other books as well that are all international bestsellers.
Right.
I've participated in another book, the Missing Piece trilogy. I don't remember which Missing Piece it was. That is also a #1 international bestseller. It's a beautiful platform. I'll tell you, these business owners, man or woman, male or female, it's a great way to start leveraging your expertise of your industry is that published word. And the other way is what you and I are doing here with an interview, a radio show. Those are two beautiful marketing pieces. But I want to say this. Don't expect to publish a book. Don't expect to launch a show like this and it goes out and does magic. You have to work it. You have to market it. You have to work it. You have to work it, work it, work it.
Right. So you also have this radio station called Bold Radio Station where you help business owners and women like myself to expand their brand. So tell us about that and tell us how does one if you really wanted to start we can be on your radio show, right? We can have our own radio show there. How does one eventually grow it and market it and what goes into that whole gamut of things?
A whole lot of blood, sweat, and tears. we, but we have fun doing it.
Right.
First of all, my team, it's a VIP. It's a VIP. It's an elite service that we do. It's a radio hosting elite service. We do everything for the host. So all the hosts need to do is get their guest and then they show up and they can be very focused on the interview. We manage everything. We'll do the scheduling. We have the production. We have the editing. We have the platform.
Right.
We do marketing from Bold Radio. Excuse me, but the hosts need to also do marketing. And I tell these hosts, because I get a lot of these hosts, they come to me and they go, okay, I'm 90 days into this. Where's the return on my investment? And I'm like, I'm going to have a conversation with my financial investor because I want quick returns like that too. In radio, it takes a long time to really get some momentum going and you really have to work it. We have a current host right now. She's only been broadcasting since, I want to say, the beginning of February. Her numbers are amazing, but she's working it. Right. She talks about it. She markets it. She lets everyone know, look, I have a radio show. Here's a postcard. Join me, listen in, share. You know, you have to market. You have to market because if you skip a week, you know, we're in such a 4-second instantaneous Google society.
Right.
You stop 1 week, they're like, Kim who? Kim, you know, it's that quick. We have to stay consistent and present.
Right. So this is literally like Bold Radio Station is a turnkey kind of space where you provide a lot of help to hosts who come in there and start their own radio show. So this is great. So everybody who's listening, go to Kim's Bold Radio Station. Look for it. Look for Kim Boudreau Smith and Google in Bold Radio Station. You'll find some very interesting content over there. Great hosts, great guests, and crazy stuff they're talking about. I listened to some of that and I said, oh, wow, this is great. So, Kim, I am so excited about this. Tell us, leave me with something really, really great for women to look into themselves and what they're doing. And what would be a big advice or big word for them to go out there and do it, just like you have?
Oh my gosh. Passion. Become the expert, become the bold, no pun intended, become the bold authority of yourself. So in turn, you can move it forward. Be flexible. Oh my gosh. If you are not flexible for these ups and downs and ins and out of business, there's going to be some issues going on here because we change just like Earth revolves from night to day, day to night. Our businesses are constantly evolving like that. They're constantly. So you have to be flexible. You have to be open and get yourself some support and help.
Wow. Thank you, Kim. So this was This was great. I think this is basic advice for all women out there because we don't go out and ask for help. So coming from yourself, who's been there for a long time and you're doing so well and so great, you're helping so many other women go out and do this. It's amazing because this is simple things, and if we sort of
Yes.
incorporated them and integrated them in our way of life or business or relationships or wherever, workplace, I think life gets just easier. We won't have to go crying about what's going on. So thank you very much, Kim.
Thank you.
This was a great conversation, and I do look forward to speak to you one more time. We go detail into your Bold radio
Yes.
station and what you're up to there.
Absolutely.
Right? So
Yes.
thank you
Yep.
very much. This was Kim Boudreau Smith, author of Bold is Beautiful series, founder and owner of the Bold radio station. Everything about her is bold. Go look for her because she has got some great advice sitting over there. She is moved from the corporate world to help women entrepreneurs and business people across the world to achieve their goals and dreams. And she is tough. Beware, but she is beautiful. Just go get her help. Thank you very much, Kim.
Thank you.
All right, bye bye.